Welcome back, people. It is episode 10 of season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast. You'll be hearing this on March 7th. Welcome to March. Last week was interesting. We had the final day of the month.
The 29th.
May never happen again. Hope you enjoyed the Gopher talk. This week we got some strange and unusual topics. Not only that, but we got to talk about baseball. MLB The Show is now bringing in women to the game. Also, NBA, Zion, LeBron, favorite topics. We got some NFL Combine review. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back, it's the Taxi Squad, yeah.
Vince! How the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I'm Glasses Vince today. That's what I'm doing. I had an absolute brutal matchup with my eye today. It was Vince versus eye, and I put it in, and it started burning a lot. So I said, "Oh no! You know what? I'm going to respect myself. I'm going to wear glasses today. I'm going to be a little bit of a nerd." So that's the case.
Well, I mean, hey, it's okay. I mean, you got bad eyeballs. You got to either wear glasses or put in contacts, and sometimes, your eyes reject the contacts. So what are you supposed to do? Now, like, are you one of those? Like, how big are the contacts? Do they fit the whole eyeball, or like?
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know, because sometimes
are they contacts that are this big, like the whole eye?
I don't know.
No,
back
dude,
in the day they did.
It covers the color part of your eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like the issue today was like it kept moving. It was being weird.
Have you ever like blinked like in a contact? So where like it's like in your
put
eyeball.
It on and you blink it. One time I thought that I put it in when I got them, and one time I thought it went to the back of my eye. And then for like a week, I was like, I'm going to die. Like, this is so fucked up. I got an x-ray. Not the case. It just fell out of my eye, and I didn't know that. So,
yeah, no, dude. There have been some people that have blunk in, like, I don't know if that's the technical medical term. I'm not an optometrist.
I like blunk. I like blunk.
Blunk. They blinked.
Yeah.
Blinked, blunk. What's the past tense of blinking? I think blinked. So they blinked in like multiple contacts, and then they have to do like this eye surgery where they pull them out and they get like green and gross and stuff.
Nasty.
Oh yeah. I'm so grateful I got the 2020. You know what I'm saying?
You have no idea how I have never woken up and truly seen properly in my life.
Well, I mean, hey, did you? You did have braces too. I had to have a fucking decade of braces.
Okay,
like the whole shot, rubber band.
Mine was 6 months, man, in and out.
Yeah, no, I didn't have that. I started braces at 10, and then I had them all the way till I was like 20, off and on. So that was a ton of fun going through the majority of high school with braces and being awkward on top of it. So, hey, everybody's got to go through that phase.
We figured it out, though. We're handsome as shit now. We're doing good. We're confident as fuck. That's never been an issue. I think we're good, dude.
We may be the best looking podcast on YouTube that people just don't know about yet.
We're not saying, but some are saying, man.
Some are saying these are very good looking men. They could be.
Hot guys.
Hot guy pod. Very good looking podcast. Headed to the moon. Headed directly to the moon.
To the moon. These 2 hot guys on the mission.
2 hot guys. Sometimes Vince wears glasses. Is it a pro? Is it a con? I can't tell.
He's a smart guy. See, that's the thing. I got a lot of takes I got to get off, and I'm trying to look very intelligent for this podcast right now.
Yeah, like you could go like super thin mustache with it, glasses.
Yeah, look like a barista.
Maybe put a beanie on. You got that beanie thing that you wear on half of your head.
It's just called a beanie.
I don't know what it is.
It's just rolled one more time.
If I wore that, I would just look like a gray asshole. But you make it happen. I don't know.
It's all about confidence, baby. All about confidence over here.
Hey, next time I'm in Chicago, Vince, let's walk through Lincoln Park with little beanies on and see who calls out who first.
We get a small cappuccino and chat about gender politics. You in?
As long as I can wear Aussie boots.
Yes. Done.
Like every
Easy.
other fucking mid-20 to early 30 male who's in finance or in sales at Salesforce that's living in Chicago.
I mean, that's simple par for the course shit. You can go to any thrift store and we can get all that taken care of. We can honestly apply for a job at Salesforce at the thrift store. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Acid wash jeans, yes. Aussie boots, flannel jacket, living for the gay pride parade.
Yeah.
We're
dyeing your hair teal, brother.
I used to be a piece of shit.
I would like to get a count for the amount of I think you should leave references on this podcast because I think we're at least over 10 now.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Hey, it's a goofy show. And, if you like us, you probably like that because we're goofy too. Right. So there you go.
We're silly little guys.
Fun plug for Tim Robinson on the Taxi Squad podcast. You got to love
my
it.
Dude.
So, Vince, you got some strange and unusual topics, potential collusion. Tell us what's going on in the high school basketball world of New Jersey.
Yeah. Who would have thought we'd be covering high school basketball right now? But goddamn if we are. It's kind of insane and it's kind of offensive to me and it pisses me off. So a New Jersey school, I think it's Camden versus Manasquan, which is very like East Coast, Boston area, New Jersey, all that. Camden High School, South Jersey. These two teams were playing. They're in a tournament for their championship because this is that time of year right now. So one team goes down. That is, Manasquan. I don't know how to say this. So Manasquan is down 1. Mm-hmm. Manasquan runs the court, shot up, miss, shot, tap back in, make. Very simple. End of the game. There was a couple seconds left. They get that shot off at the end. And it's like half a second left. Something to remember is they don't allow replays on college games, or high school games, rather. So refs can't go back and look at it. That's just their judgment call based on it. So they shoot it, half a second left, counted as good, buzzer beater, boom. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody's jacked up. The refs meet up after it, and then they're like, so first off, the guy that was next to the basket was the one that called it good, because it was. They had a meeting after it, after everybody's going apeshit, and they're like, basket doesn't count, game over. And it's insane because you watch the video and it's good. You're like, what are we doing here?
Was the clock at 0?
The clock was at 0.05, whatever it is, where it's like half a second. Like this, the one was down, but the clock wasn't done yet. So it was good.
Was it a playoff game?
It was, yeah. Very important game for their season right now. So they flipped it for no real reason. It was like a refs were talking about it, and they're like, the time was gone, whatever it was. Now, and this is recent as of, the last couple minutes, honestly, of me learning, they tried to, they being Manasquan, tried to put in an appeal to get that fixed because it needed to get fixed. They got denied appeal, and now they're threatening actual legal action against the league, which I think that they should. Because every time we talk about overturning calls, there needs to be enough evidence to completely change it. I don't know what they were looking at. I don't know how the referees work, but there's no way that you can call a shot good and then go back without a replay and say, actually, let's change our opinion on this, especially when it's wrong.
Well, I guess there needs to be some sort of process that's created for high school basketball playoffs, maybe.
Instant replay, man. Put a camera in there.
But a lot of these schools don't have the funding for that.
Well, I know, but there's literally videos all over the internet of this. Like this school should have it.
You think like Chicago public schools would have that? No shot. They could barely fund their ass.
No, but I mean, they're in like you said, they're in a tournament. So maybe like middle of the season, this isn't that big of a deal. But right now, like the stakes are risen. Like they're coming down to the end here. They're in the tournament trying to, finish off the year. And then this happens. Like if I'm Camden and I know that we didn't win that game, then they go off and win the whole thing. Like that's bullshit.
Yeah, maybe like one of the refs' nephews played on the team or something.
That's what I'm thinking.
And he's trying to get him to the next level. Maybe there's some sort of collusion potential conspiracy podcast on our hands here.
The guy, I guess,
just
that
not
made
thinking
the
about.
call in that conversation was like across the court. So the only argument you can make is he was watching the clock, but obviously not well because he got it wrong.
Well,
So,
yeah.
like, what are we doing here? I just don't understand how you can overturn the call.
Is there any rules that there can't be like a rebound putback in high school games? I don't think so.
No shot. No. They're fine. That's what I'm saying. Like, the play was fine, and it was cool, and it was awesome, and it's exactly what you look for tournament basketball like this.
Absolutely.
And then now they're saying, like, well, I'm not 100% sure it was gotten off in time, so instead we're going to reverse it and not give it to them after we called it good. That's what I'm saying. The fact that they reversed the call is insane.
I mean, the fact to me that we're talking about this and now we have to think about the fact that a high school basketball game needs cameras is a little crazy to me. It's like, as long as there wasn't zeros on the clock and the ball went in before the buzzer, you know what? That little grace period where it's not the NBA, where it's like his finger left the ball at 0.2 seconds. Like,
yeah. Well,
you can't do that for high school
basketball. Let the referee control the game like this. And that's always the conversation. It's like the referee is not the star of this basketball game, but now they are because everybody's like, what the hell?
I mean, we're talking about him.
Right. I know. We're from Chicago. You live in Arizona, and we're talking about a New Jersey high school team.
A Massaquan.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck they are.
Manasquan.
Where are all these Canadian names in the Northeast coming from, by the way? I mean, I know they're close.
Canadian.
Manasquan isn't some sort
Native American, brother.
Yeah,
so is everything that's up in Canada too.
You got.
We're from Algonquin.
Yes, we are. We are from Algonquin. But I'm just saying, you get to Wisconsin, you clearly get to some points in New Jersey and even Connecticut. There's goofy names that are named after tribes. Clearly, Kankakee.
I think Milwaukee was also a tribe.
Milwaukee.
And Chicago.
Chicago supposedly translates to bad smell. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that.
It was it was like Chicago or something like that in like Native American.
And then a bunch of fucking Italians got there.
And then they came in, they're like, hold on, we're gonna change it to fucking Chicago.
Somebody start a deli.
How you done?
How you done?
I went to a deli the other day, man.
Was it delicious?
It was great. It was just the most, greaseball Italian thing ever. I walk in, I'm like, let me get one Italian sub. Let me get a cannoli for later. Thank you very much. They had RC Cola. I'm like, it's one of those days.
You got to do it. Now, the real question, okay, squirrel moment. What'd you get on the sandwich? Did you get a little jardinade? Did you get red peppers?
I got jardinere on that. It was
provolone.
Yes, duh. I don't know if they have a different cheese option, honestly, for that sandwich.
Pesto? No pesto?
There wasn't pesto on it. It was just your run-of-the-mill, like, Italian classic cold cut sub. That was the move. Okay. What they do have, though, is they have, like, muffalettas and all that, but they also have...
Muffalettas are great.
They have chicken parm sandwiches, and I was like, bro, I want this so bad, but it was lunchtime. I was like, I'm not going back into work and just... chicken parm down,
I mean, Vince, I love you, but I mean, the fucking salted meats isn't going to make you finish the day like a hummingbird. You know
I'm with you.
I mean,
but I was like, let's make a calculated risk here. That was my thought. There's a difference between fucking salami and capicola or fried chicken cutlets and melted parm or melted mozzarella cheese. Come on now.
It's gabagool.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, you don't put the A at the end of it. Hi, can I please have a capicola sandwich?
We're from Algonquin.
Shut up. We're Italian.
Italian.
But I maybe have the best picture of Vince of all time.
Yeah.
We're in Boston, and we're in the North End, and it's essentially their Little Italy.
Literally,
Vince is standing on a street corner, sunglasses on, middle of the day, with a sandwich in one hand and a beer in the other. And I took the picture of him, and he's like,
"How you doing?"
I was like,
"That's
that
my guy."
Is classic. Now, mind you, there's 4 idiots behind him also walking down the street eating Italian sandwiches.
Also Italian as fuck.
Hysterical.
We were
it
a
was
caricature
fantastic.
that weekend for sure.
That weekend will go down in infamy. But back to the basketball in New Jersey of the high school persuasion. So, all in all, do we think there needs to be some sort of mandate on I don't know, does it go state to state that now you start to vote in cameras for tournaments and playoffs and all that?
Well, I think the appeal system is obviously an issue because they appealed and they didn't get it. And the argument, I assume, and I didn't read this is all assumption, is, well, they already made the call, so that's the call.
But
if you're going to do that, then you should have a way to fix that in the game. Because what's the point of an appeal?
They film most of the games anyway, so there has to be film anyway. Right.
Dude, the video that we watched earlier is literally like an up-close sideline view of the clock and the play. And you're just like, this is obviously, it's egregious. And it's not fair.
Do you think it gets overturned? Do you think it gets overturned?
They already denied it. They denied the appeal. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not fair. Like most of these guys aren't going to play basketball again. And if they do, they'll go like somewhere and play, small-time basketball. You're not talking about Zion Williamson here, And now these kids get their season cut short because one ref was on a power trip and was like, I saw the clock. It was done. We got to overturn it. And again, if they called it as no good and then they don't overturn it, that's way better than saying that's in, that's good. Everybody goes apeshit. The kid's a hero. And then all of a sudden they're like, all right, never mind. We're done with that. And the kid's still a fucking hero because he was right. Like, that's the issue. It's crazy.
I just feel bad for the kids more so than anything.
Me too. Yeah.
Taxi Squad podcast is all about, the kids excelling in their sports.
Right.
And in the classroom, stay in school.
Yeah. We're honestly, the reason we started this, the reason we started this is because we want kids to study more. That was our,
yes, that's exactly why.
Our mission statement.
In the words of Trick Daddy, we love the kids.
We love the kids. No, we're like Michael Jordan, the fuck them kids.
Yeah, right. Fuck them kids. I'm gonna beat them in horse regardless. I think it's moving forward. You will see a change. And
have to. At least in tournament ball. At least in tournament ball. I hope so for the kids.
Yeah. I can't believe we talked about a high school basketball tournament. But hey, it's that time of year.
But it is bullshit, isn't it? Like, that's
total
at the
bullshit.
End of the day. Yeah.
There's no doubt about it that it's bullshit. Now, what could be considered as bullshit is this new baseball stadium for the Oakland, now Las Vegas Athletics, which I do believe they will get a name change eventually.
Why? Why would they do that?
I don't know. Because
they've been the Athletics since 1889 or something.
Yeah, when they were located in Oakland.
No, Philadelphia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Baseball history.
Well,
maybe they just keep the name forever. But let's talk about the general construct of this new ballpark that they're putting in Las Vegas, where Treasure Island, I believe, used to be. They're knocking it down. They're putting it here. It looks like the Sydney Opera House.
It does. I fucking hate it.
I'm confused. Are we singing songs or are we playing the great sport of baseball?
So, for those that haven't seen it, you can find it easy if you just look it up. But it's one of those AI digital generated ones that never end up looking like you're going to end up getting at the end of it. So, grain of salt. My brother texted me. He's like, you think the Aussies are going to be pissed? I'm like, I'd be. Like, what the fuck is that?
Well, you need a dome in that state.
Yeah.
Like, just like how
No. July, wide fucking open, burn everyone. Everybody's just burning down there.
Just 110, 92 in the shade.
Yep.
Get after it.
That's how you get all of the the island guys and the guys coming from overseas that don't want to play in Chicago because it's cold. You're like, well, you could do this or you can do 110 in Vegas. Like, you pick. It's like, maybe that's good for us.
Yeah, no, there's definitely must be a dome. But I think that it'll probably change 3 times over. There's actually a lot of issues going on a local Las Vegas level with Clark County and the people who sit on the board and the construction board of Clark County that there might be a fair shot that they don't end up there.
Good.
Like there are still, if we wanted, I could potentially get a official of the Clark County Fire Office to discuss this with us on the podcast if it shows interest to anybody.
I'm down.
Okay. I might
That'd
be
be
able
fun.
to pull some strings.
Cool.
But either way, it would be an interesting discussion to see what that looks like on a local government level, because there was a lot of issues with the zoning for the property and what they plan on building there and the infrastructure and parking and how that's going to look, because it's literally right off the strip. Mm-hmm. So there may be a potential, not saying they won't be in the state of Nevada, but they may not be right off the strip, which is their ultimate goal.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they don't run out of water too. I know that's an issue.
Well, the Southwest does have that issue. We have that issue here in lovely Arizona.
True. I would like, outside of all of that, regardless of zoning issues and all that stuff, I think John Fisher is a huge piece of shit. He's the principal owner of the A's. I think he's an asshole, and I think he sucks at his ownership. He bought this team with this in mind, for sure. Thinking, like, you can make an argument for the Raiders. It makes a lot of sense, mostly because you could get people to come in and be like, I want to go see the Bears play this year, or I want to go to Vegas. Let's make a Vegas trip around when the Bears are playing. All that makes sense. You get a lot of people in the stadium, whatever it is. I can't foresee a massive market in Vegas for a baseball team that runs majority in the months of July and August. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because a lot of people aren't going to Vegas in the middle of the summer either. And the A's fans, like, they're not going to have a shit ton of fans in Vegas, I assume, for the entire 162 or the 81 that they play there. So they're going to put a lot of money in this, and he's going to be like, I expect all this shit out of it. And then if they move it and it's a failure, then you're like, now you fucked over Oakland at the end of the day. I don't know. It's kind of like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
We have to remember the state of Nevada itself, and you could say even the state of Arizona, is incredibly transient.
Yeah.
There's a lot of transplants. I would say Arizona is more now like ingrained
for sure
fan bases than Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a party town, always has been, and not many people move there. Now, there's many benefits of moving there. There's no income tax. There's a lot of good tax bennies that you get at the end of each year. I will say, though, that to your point, who in the fuck wants to go to Vegas in July?
I know, that's what I'm saying. So it's the ticket sales have to come from people that live in Vegas, which also, there's a lot of older people that live in Vegas that don't live in Vegas in July.
But to your point, there could be also that other subgroup that want to go see the Phillies play the A's, or want to go see the Yankees play the A's because they're former New Yorkers, or the Cubs, or the White Sox.
October.
Well, okay. I mean, I still believe with gambling, because you could gamble on the game in the ballpark. You can gamble wherever you want outside of it.
Isn't
the
that
attraction.
You can do that here.
What?
You could do that in Chicago
now, but it's going to be even more amped there because it's Las Vegas.
Right.
I'm sure they'll have like full-blown gambling floors, 5-star restaurants. I mean, it's what they do. It's escalated times 10 in Vegas as to what a ballpark will be. I'm sure the suites will be insane. I mean, just look at the football stadium, for example. So they have a DJ in the one end zone. I mean, it's like, oh, watch a football game and listen to Cascade.
Right. Do you want to do that in an A's baseball game? I don't know.
I mean, baseball moves slow enough that you probably could.
Yeah. Hey, my walkout song isn't Kygo. Change the shit.
Well, I mean, they legit have that market, though. And you could see some people probably buying in. But the A's fan base is similar to like the White Sox fan base. There hasn't been much belief in that team in 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. And that's fucking John Fisher in a nutshell. Just an asshole. And that's the thing, too. He's just been saying, like, no one shows up to the games. Like, you don't spend any money and you trade everybody. And then now your team sucks and you're mad that no one goes. Yeah, dude.
I feel like Manfred and this whole group, they want to expand into different markets. I've also read recently that they want to potentially put a franchise in Salt Lake City.
Ugh.
I don't know why the fuck you do that. And then Nashville, of course, has been on the table for a while. The White Sox may be moving there. Don't know if that'll ever happen.
Fucking piss off. I can't talk. We honestly,
Piss off.
we need to make this episode a no Jerry Reinsdorf talk episode.
We're not going to talk about him.
I'm
We're
gonna
just
get
not.
so heated again. I can't do
My
it.
blood will boil.
I'm not an angry man generally, but that guy ruins my life, literally.
Oh, I was at the Crosstown game last Friday, the Cubs White Sox. Not much to report from that game other than there was 6 errors in total off fly balls being lost in the sun.
Damn.
5 of which were attributed to the Chicago Cubs outfield.
Oh no.
Hilarious.
They got young guys out there?
Yeah, there was
Pete
3 in
Armstrong and all
the
them?
same. There was 3 in the same inning.
Damn.
It was hilarious watching that game. Kopech, I watched Kopech throw a bullpen. He looks to be having. It was his first start of the spring training session.
Yeah.
He looks to be having some control issues.
Well, he pitched yesterday or today?
He pitched on Friday.
Yeah, but he also pitched, I think, today.
Did he pitch
If
today?
I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And
So
he had
fifth day.
a good outing. They played the Dodgers. They faced Yamamoto, and they ate him alive today.
Good.
So, bust alert, some are saying. No, I'm not going to say that, but,
Guys are
Yamamoto,
playing
man.
around with guys are playing around with their motion and different pitches, and you're taking risks you wouldn't usually take. But hey, Eloy Jimenez and Yohan Moncada, 2 guys to pay attention to.
Watch them be all-stars this year, and the Sox still suck. It is what it is.
It could very well be. Although TLR, good old TLR, did say they might surprise some people this year.
I don't. That's lip service, my friend.
It's like, Tony, just go get in a car after a couple drinks.
You could say that to somebody's mom, or you could say that to some random person, but like to be as ingrained as you and I are, and to hear that, you're like, where? I don't see it at all.
He's like, we might. I'm like, you're talking. I'm not that guy, pal. Not that guy.
Because he's also not going to be like, we're gonna suck this year. Just strap in. Like, there's just no shot. I might be there on opening day though, so we'll see how it goes. And they get nice and cold at the end of March. Yeah,
ready to freeze your small beans off.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if there's been one opening day in the past 25 years of that ballpark
30 degrees.
That isn't 30 degrees or snowing or dog shit. And then usually what happens the day after opening day, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to tuck something into my my fupa and sneak some things into the ballpark. That's my plan. I don't
like
know
a gun?
Like not a gun.
The fupa gate, fupa gate, gun gate.
Never forget. That was the most important thing to happen to the White Sox last year.
Been with us that long, last summer, I think it was the last game of the season.
Close to it.
At good old Mortgage Park on the south side, a woman snuck a firearm in under her fupa.
Fat upper P area.
And if you don't know what that is, Google it. But literally, and then the gun fell out. Then the gun fell out of it.
Discharged.
And then hit the ground and discharged.
Yeah.
Gross. Anyways,
it's gross. That had to be
speaking of females in baseball, Vince.
Brings a whole new definition to that gun was hot because it was just warm sitting in that pocket. All right, ladies are in the show, Mike.
What a transition.
Ew.
What do you mean by ladies are in the show, Vince?
So, create a player. I can make a guy, but if I'm a girl that wants to play, then you can make a girl. And the internet's kind of up in arms right now. I'm like, oh, who cares? Just do it. Who cares? You look like a bomb that's about to explode.
What is this, fucking League of Their Own? I mean, I'm just saying. What are we doing? Is this a League of Their Own?
Listen,
Can I make Tom Hanks as a character as well to go, there's no crying in baseball?
I get the argument because, like, it's an impossibility to have a woman play in the MLB. It's like, you could try to do it, but it's probably not going to happen.
There's a reason there's softball and baseball. There's a reason there's the NBA and the WNBA.
Yeah.
There's a reason there's flag football and professional football.
But this is a fake game where you can make a lady that throws 101 miles per hour.
Is it underhand? That's the only way I'm buying it.
No, it's baseball. It isn't softball.
Who gives a shit?
Okay. No, because that's an illegal pitch in baseball.
Kelly Wunsch did it.
Jenny Finch?
Jenny Finch.
Who's Kelly Wunsch?
Kelly Wunsch was an underhand pitcher for the White Sox in the early 2000s.
Oh.
That's an old
like
White
drop
Sox
down,
reference.
Though.
Yeah.
Not like.
I'm just saying they should allow it then. If you're going to lean into this, really lean into it.
I mean, that would be cool. I saw one thing that I was laughing my ass off about because I am kind of like, whatever. If you want to grow the game and if you want to get more women and honestly younger girls to get into the game and they can make themselves in MLB The Show, fucking have a blast. I don't really care. And then the other, like people on Twitter were like, this is so unrealistic. And then someone's like, yeah, it is really unrealistic. And it's like, as I win the 10th championship in the world with the Chicago White Sox. It's like, that's unrealistic, bro.
That's a good point.
Be honest. Eloy Jimenez wins an MVP. That's unrealistic, too. I mean, I get the argument. I get it if you're trying to keep it as honest as possible. But I assume that you can completely avoid that if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to make a female player.
Right. I might, though. I was saying I might make the most beefcakes lady ever that throws like 101 and has like 115 power. And I'm just going Yabo off of Justin Verlander with like a Jenny Finch reincarnate or some shit.
Either that or just give her like a full-blown mohawk and she identifies as a baseball bat or some shit. I don't know.
Hey, I'm kind of in on that. I wonder if they'll give us that customizable ability. But yeah, the internet was up in arms with that, and I was kind of just like, it's whatever. I don't really fucking care. There's so many things I have to care about. I just whatever. Put a lady in there.
I mean, hey, they did it for NBA 2K, but that makes a little bit more sense because you can actually like play
the WNBA
teams.
Yeah,
and that like to me brings real equality to the sport. And I'm an equality guy. I'm just saying that you don't see many female baseball players. Now, say this, when I was in middle school, I played on a team with a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, yeah, like this is the last age I'll be able to compete with playing with you guys because she said literally our hand-eye coordination as we get older changes and yours doesn't. She goes, it's actually like there's something about that, I guess.
Well, the way we mature just like naturally is different.
We have yabos.
We take a long time too. We turn into big boys at a later age.
We turn into big boys. We produce testosterone. Hair goes many places.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. You'll see the stories and it's on the fringes, but you know, lady kickers, like
I'm all about lady. See, to me, here's where I believe women in a professional sport could work. Lady kickers, is a thing because kickers ever rarely. Anyway. You can't hit them anyways.
You're not allowed to. You get in trouble for it.
And there have actually been a handful of women that have tried out for NFL teams that can kick 50-plus yard field goals.
And have kicked in college. The only issue is Devin Hester ripping it down the sideline. You're the last point of defense.
Get out of bounds. Just get out of bounds.
Is Devin Hester going to be able to truck a lady? That's the only issue that I see in it.
Well, hey, I mean, my wife has dropped showing to me a couple of times, playing around. I mean, the girl can pack a punch. So who's to say if
I'm
you get
sure
the
that
right
kicker
woman
would
out
fuck
there,
my ass up. Let's be honest.
Right. You get the right woman out there who's willing to put herself on the line. It could be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Athletic enough. I mean,
I'm scared of women all the time, so I'm with you.
Yeah, same for numerous reasons. But I mean, hey, we're scared of them in a different way. What else is new in the baseball world? Matt Chapman signed to the Giants. That was exciting.
Yes, he did. He got a similar deal to the Cody Bellinger deal, where he can essentially opt out. Interesting thing about Matt Chapman is he had his worst statistical year last year He's still really good, in my opinion. 2019, he was very good. And then, that was essentially 5 years ago now. So the Giants are good at this, like getting value on guys like this, and he can opt out if he wants to. We talked about this before, though, but I do feel like there's more free agents than there are spots that people want to pay people for. So Blake Snell, still a free agent. Joey Votto posted something today where he's like missing ball, and then the Montreal Expos retweeted it, and they're like, "Call us." And I was like, Jesus. I'm assuming that's a fan account or something, but yeah, I mean, guys are starting to get slowly signed. I think San Francisco is kind of a perfect spot for Chapman. Plus, he probably gets to go back into the Oakland area like he was in previous to his Blue Jays stint. Only issue is he turned down more money with the Blue Jays than he got with the Giants.
See, this is where these guys, it's like you need to bet on yourself. I get it.
Yep.
But then you also have to take the calculated risk. Don't punch a gift horse in the mouth, as they would say.
Do you remember Dennis Schroeder a couple years ago?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Or Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder got like a 3-year, $21 million from the Lakers, turned it down. In the offseason, he signed like a 1-year, $3 million with the Celtics. And you're like, well, you just lost like $18 million on that deal.
Yeah, like, listen, I understand if your market value is X, but then again, to the point of just Matt Chapman, you had a down year. You're going into free agency. Oh, they're going to believe in me what my 2019 year was. Not necessarily. But
market
to talk about the
market value, the market decides that.
Right, just like anything. But back to the Montreal Expo.
Yeah.
Okay. The Montreal Expos, there's a whole documentary coming out about the downfall of the Montreal Expos. With Montreal, supposedly is a great town.
Yeah.
It is a great city within Canada. Toronto still has a ball team. Now, if you do your homework, I mean, Vince, you're closer to Montreal in like Boston than you are in like Toronto.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Sure. I mean, so a lot of guys say, like, especially NHL guys, like Montreal's the fucking spot. Like, that's where I like to go.
I mean, baseball's missing it. If they're wise, could you imagine the rebranding of the Expos in Montreal?
Honestly, though, don't even rebrand them. That look is back in.
But I know, but that's
back in.
Once again, you could revamp it a little bit. You could still have the Expo name.
Yeah.
What an Expo is, I really don't know.
Exposition.
Okay, got it.
It's like when you go to a conference center and look at cool new products. That's what
exactly. Exactly. It's an expo. And
Chicago Auto Show, but for baseballs.
Chicago Auto Show. There's many technology events that I go to that'll make you go to bed.
Yeah.
But with all of that, so you can have a potential trade show, and then you could go watch a baseball game.
Boom.
But the expos, that look, to your point, is in, and then you could revamp it and kind of do a mid-retro thing where the kids would love it and do TikTok dances at the whatever.
Kid Vlad Jr.?
You could also have a strip club in the ballpark because allegedly, Montreal is strip club capital of the world.
Really? You want to go to Montreal? Just kidding.
Get married, Vince. It could be on the table.
Listen, man. White Sox move. Montreal comes back. Might be an Expo guy.
You might be an Expo guy.
Yeah. I mean, where else would you go with that? Give me the new team. Let's try that out.
I could never be a Cub fan.
Fuck no. Never.
I would probably, NL team would be the D-backs because I'm here now.
Yes, so that makes sense for you. Yep.
Pay attention to that because it's a local team and they've recently been good, even though I don't even think they're going to touch the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
AL team for me, I'd probably just like, and you're going to look at me sideways, but I just think they're an exciting young team, and that's what I'm going to go with. No. No, God, no. Orioles. Give me the Orioles.
Ooh, beautiful park, dude. Camden Yards is an absolute place.
I could never be a Twins fan. I could never be a Cleveland fan.
Completely
I could never
out
be
of the
a Royals
division.
fan.
Completely
I could never
out
be
of
a
the
Tigers
division.
fan.
Yeah.
I could never.
No.
Ever. No.
Absolutely not. Yeah, dude, I honestly would probably pick the Expos just because I like it. And I'm not going to follow the White Sox where they are. I can't reward them for being a piece of shit organization. So
no, they'll stay in Chicago. Jerry will cry broke. The city will give them what they want. They're going to probably do the same thing with keeping the Bears in Chicago as well, even though Chicago Bears just purchased a shit ton of land in Arlington Heights, seemingly for no reason. But
practice facility.
I'm sure. Yeah, right. It's going to be a dope-ass practice facility.
Enormous practice facility. Mike, the baby back bitch retired.
There's a handful of them. Liam Hendricks?
No, I was watching something, and it was like, who has the most reliever strikeouts since 2016? And Liam Hendricks is the answer to that. But
where is he in home runs as well for relievers? Because I think
I don't think they bat. Well. They don't really bat much, so
no. The home runs.
I know. I'm just avoiding that altogether.
No,
the baby back bitch that I'm referring to is Josh Donaldson.
Hate him.
Problem with Josh Donaldson is I used to love him. I thought it was awesome. He's in Oakland. He's playing catcher, and then he moves to third base and completely revamps his career. Wins an MVP. I'm like, this guy rocks. And then sometime around 2017 or 18, he turned into the biggest, like, what do they call it in wrestling when you turned into a heel, essentially.
Okay.
He goes to the Twins, talks a bunch of shit, says some racist shit to Tim Anderson, like all of that happened. Goes to the Yankees, absolutely sucks, still starting with this crazy, insane stuff that he's doing. I saw a 2.5-minute video of Josh Donaldson bat flipping flyouts, and it was the best 2.5 minutes of my life because he did that so many times where he's like, oh, big shot, bat flip, and then Byron Buxton's just like, doop, and then move on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a big bat flip guy unless you absolutely nuked it.
Yeah, right.
Unless you absolutely moonshotted that thing and it's a no doubter and you're looking at it fly through the sky like a diamond in the sky.
Yeah. Rihanna.
But other than that, unless you know for sure, then yeah.
I know.
You do
that once or twice and it's embarrassing. He's done it.
Gary Sanchez used to do the same thing all the time. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that whole thing. Yeah, the Tim Anderson stuff definitely put a bad taste in my mouth. He even started shit with them on the Yankees. They even got, Tim Anderson in his later years of the White Sox. Talk about a heel.
Yeah, but I kind of fucked with it, I'm not gonna lie.
The whole Jose Ramirez fight.
Yeah,
impregnating women.
Bro.
Josh Donaldson scuffle when we were supposed to be really good too. That 2020 run was pretty much like we're
really good when there's only 60 games. We're really good when there's only 60 games.
Shout out to TLR. I'm happy to see him go. And Matt Chapman may be walking in his footsteps because they both overvalue themselves.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Josh Donaldson's top was better than Matt Chapman, but Matt Chapman, he's still a young man. We'll see what he does.
He's still in his late 20s. We'll see. Well, Vince, we talked about video games in one conversation.
Let's go back. It's the slow time of year, bud.
So,
yeah,
we're gonna talk some college sports. One of the most exciting things coming out in this year,
huge
in the spring, is going to be the only reason Mike buys a new gen gaming console.
Yeah.
It's for NCAA 25. And I can't tell you how I just might write full-blown reports on what I'm going to do to take Northwestern all the way to the top.
Oh, brother, Toledo's winning 3 in a row with this guy.
Toledo, either that or Akron is going to the moon.
Yes.
I might take Coastal Carolina all the way to the, tip top of the ranks.
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to be recruiting elite 5 stars.
NIL deals everywhere.
NIL deals everywhere. I'm going to be getting offensive linemen NIL deals to local buffets and strip clubs.
You're gonna do
I'm gonna
too with the new guy.
Yeah, I am going to blindside someone. I legit as as the coach of my fictitious football team, I'm going to just drive around campus and being like, kid, what do you cut your 40 in? I'm adopting you. All right. So
you got parents? Not anymore. I'm your dad.
Not anymore. I'm it now, and you're going to the next level, son. But with all that, Vince, I read this as well.
Yep.
The Manning brother or son. Arch
nephew.
Manning, who's not going to be much in the NCAA, I don't believe.
You don't think he's going to be good?
I do not.
Why?
Because Quinn Ewers is staying. He's still going to start over him.
Yeah.
He is not as athletic as any quarterback in the game right now. The game has changed.
As Peyton. I was like, Peyton's not athletic at all.
Yeah. The game was different back then. You have to be that multi-threat now to even be considered. You also have to be a large human. I just don't think he's going to live up to the expectation, regardless if he got recruited by Texas or not. We'll see.
Yeah,
I think he is
6'4" at 18, so he's probably going to end up being 6'5", 6'6", like 212 right now. Put on some muscle. Like that's the thing. He is so young.
Right.
I honestly think he will be good, just because it's kind of an inevitability in my head. But regardless, he forgoes having himself added to NCAA 25. Thoughts?
I think it's a little lame.
Yeah.
Overall, I just think it's really lame. Like, you still are an age where you remember when that game was out. Mm-hmm. Like, 10 years ago?
Though. He was 8 10 years ago.
Fine, he was still playing video games?
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's, we have, like, a real love affair with because, like, we were, 15, 16, 17 at that time, so, like, that was a great time. I know what you're saying.
Speak for yourself, Vince. 10 years ago, I was, 22, but whatever.
Oh, shit, yeah. Well, I was 18.
Thanks, man. I know I got some gray hair, but what the fuck?
Sorry, I didn't think about that. You look so young. You look so young.
Thanks, Vince.
You're welcome.
It's the Botox. Anyways, with all of that, I do believe this is stupid, and I don't know how many other guys are going to opt out, but I also heard there are reports that they're going to allow you to put together, like, legend teams. So, like, they're going to ask, like, guys like Tom Brady,
Reggie,
and Colt McCoy, Reggie Bush, all these guys, if they could use their name, image, and likeness to be used in that game.
Well, they probably already have it because they're EA.
Well, EA, yeah, they have it, but they need permission with all the legalities of it.
Got it, like with the school.
Supposedly, it's supposed to be nothing like the Madden games, which I'm praying is true, but I don't believe it.
How does that make any sense, though? They're going to create a whole new football game, like all the haptics and all that shit? No way. They're going to take the same gameplay, and then they'll change the setup of the menus and how the leagues run and shit is what they're going to do. But the gameplay is going to be almost identical, I'm sure.
Which is unfortunate, because the gameplay in Madden is meh.
I don't know. You smoked me in it.
Depends on the night. Not the last time we played. I got destroyed.
True, I got a lot better. Yeah,
it just depends on the day,
Arch Manning, I put some thought into this, because initially I was like, that's fucking lame. That is lame. And then I was like, okay, Arch Manning doesn't start. Arch Manning's going to be put in that game as like a 62. So he's probably like, all right, fuck that. And then I'm thinking everybody gets the same amount regardless of who they are. And he's probably like, listen,
I don't need that money.
But he's probably like, my name is so much more valuable than 250, whatever they're getting, 2,500 or whatever. He's probably like, pay me more, bitch. And they probably said no. And he's like, all right, won't be in it. Because at this point, it's he gets to, in a year or 2 years, if he's playing well, he can be like, all right, give me my money now. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think that's probably where he's coming from, because he also said he wants to focus on football, which I kind of
How does that deter you from focusing on football?
I know, but I'm just thinking maybe he's like, I don't want to see my name in the game, or maybe he doesn't want to play the game, or whatever the fuck it is. So I don't really know what that means entirely, but I do think he should focus on football right now. But it's more so just like he probably knows he's worth a lot more. He probably doesn't care to be in the game until he's good, where like then they'll put him in there and he's going to be like a 92, and then it's going to be like, all right, that's cool.
To your point, I believe he'll be in the second rev of the game where he's a starter and he's the name of the program and all that good stuff. I think the ego play is there, but who knows? His granddaddy could have came in and said, "We're not playing for that team." It's like, Arch, it's a video game. Yeah, we're not going to play for them. All right.
Well, he's like, I don't want my name in there. It's like, it's your grandson. It's not you. You're the same name.
Not happening. Not happening. Now, I would be interested if they asked Peyton and Eli if they could use their name, image, and likeness for Tennessee and for Ole Miss. That would be interesting if they agreed to it and their nephew does it.
They were in the EA games.
Yeah, of course they were.
Yeah, but even so, I'm excited. I'm interested to see if they're gonna have like an integration thing where, you know, if I'm like beasting, or if I'm like making my own guy and I go through 4 years and I'm a boss, and then I could just move into Madden and then draft that guy.
Of course they're gonna have that. Yeah. They used to have the importing from NCAA 14 to Madden 25. Like if you play NCAA 14 to this day. It says at the end of each season, your roster goes to the draft, or they commit to the draft, and you got to like beg and plead with them to be like, you staying? Do you want to stay? We'll win a natty, stay.
Yeah. You're like,
how many over promises I've made of like, you're going to start 100 games.
And they never do.
Doesn't happen. But I need that depth at the O-line position, you know?
Yeah.
God forbid guy goes down.
I need you here with me, man.
I am taking Akron to the show. I mean, it's
Larry
Stash. Larry Stash, video game head coach name, by the way.
Yeah.
If you know me, technically, that is still my name. But not in there. In there, I'm a legend.
I'm a legend. I'm Larry Stash. When do you think is too old to be making yourself in a video game?
Never.
Really?
Not in this generation. Millennial, Gen Z. I'll be making my own character.
Well,
until
no,
I'm
make your own
70s.
Character, but you're not putting your name.
I go with
like,
my.
I wanted to. Alter ego.
No, alter ego, Larry Stash.
Okay,
but I don't,
so that's
what
I'm saying.
I don't create the player anymore.
Yeah.
I'm an X's and O's guy.
Yeah,
you know, I want to install systems. I don't need to be the running back anymore.
Mm-hmm. You're the coach.
I don't need to be. What if like you did a creative player and like you're a punter?
I wonder if you can get like. You want to make Pat McAfee?
Like you can make Pat if you want to, you know. I don't know how that worked. But Pat though in college was a kicker at West Virginia.
He was. Yes, he was.
And then they converted him to a punter.
Yeah. He was also they just used their franchise tag on somebody, I forgot. First time the Colts used a franchise tag since Pat McAfee.
Michael Pittman Jr.
That's what it was. The last one they utilized was for Pat McAfee to stay as the punter. Awesome. They tagged him. That's awesome.
That's kind of sweet. Well, Michael Pittman Jr., the dog, USC legend for the record.
Yes, no doubt about that. Every receiver's from USC at this point.
No,
I'm saying there's a ton of them. Yeah, that was nothing but praise for your boys. Moving from NCAA football to basketball. Caitlin Clark beats Pete Maravich's points record for the NCAA. And to that I say, nice job, different sport. That's exactly how I feel. Right? It is.
It is I said the same thing when they were like, I understand the equality and all, but fuck, they play two separate sports.
Right. She didn't take his record. She made a new one for them.
One's women's NCAA, the other is men's NCAA.
Right.
Did she beat Sue Bird's record? Did she eclipse? Okay, done. Then why don't we talk about that and give those women their flowers?
Yep.
And not saying, oh, she surpassed Pete Maravich. Pistol Pete, was doing some odd shit, and Pistol Pete wasn't playing with a 3-point line.
Pistol
for the
Pete.
Record.
Dog though, because that That was one of the benefits of this, is that we started seeing a lot more Pistol Pete highlights, and you're like, God damn, dude, he was so good in college. And this is no hate on Caitlin Clark. I want to make that clear.
No, she's amazing.
Monster.
She sells out like stadiums. Like for example, Northwestern played Iowa in women's basketball.
Yeah.
Tickets were like $300.
I couldn't go. I wanted to go. I couldn't go.
For example, like she is a phenom.
Yeah. But that's essentially like a softball player playing like 10 years or like 10 consistent years of games in a row and then being like, oh, just broke Cal Ripken's consistent game streak or consecutive game streak. You're like, no, that's crazy to compare the two.
No.
It doesn't make any sense. No. So, I mean, it was cool to get the Maravich stuff, but more than anything, I'm like, congrats to her, but also that's not a real. She didn't break a record. Pete Maravich still has the most points in men's basketball because it's men's basketball.
A WNBA player broke one of Kobe's records or something.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't.
WNBA player scores 101 points. You're like, beat Wilt Chamberlain. You're like, different game. What are we doing?
Competition isn't the same. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
This is not. It's just not.
It's just. It's just literally a completely different thing. I'm sorry, guys.
You know what Caitlin Clark can't do, Vince, that Pete Maravich could?
What?
Shave their face.
Well, she can. I just don't know how good it's going to work out for her.
I don't know how good it's going to work out. Could grow back a little thick. Not sure. But Pete Maravich, if he could have chosen a razor, the pistol himself, he would have chose our great friends at Henson Shaving.
This part of today's episode is brought to you by none other than our friends at Henson Shaving. If you guys have been listening to the show for a while, you already know that we swear by Henson Shaving. We've been using them for months, and there really isn't a better product out there. The Henson razor puts an end to shaving irritation and cuts while also making your skin feel comfortable and smooth. This razor is made by using CNC machines to aerospace standards. That's right. Rocket ships, people. That means it's made to very tight tolerances, meaning that the combination of how securely it's held and how minimally the blade is exposed delivers a smooth and safe shave no other razor can offer. It's literally one blade. Be safe. Please be safe. They're very sharp. You twist on the top and you get to work. It's that easy. You remember the beard bet? You remember me shaving off the whole thing. If you need to watch somebody use it, go on my Instagram and check it out because it's really that easy. Cost of ownership averages $88.20 every 2 years, which is essentially $177 less than normal cartridge razors. They're sustainable. It's precise. It's Henson Shaving. It's got a nice weight to it. It's made out of metal. None of this plastic garbage. So please use the promo code THETAXISQUAD, THETAXISQUAD at checkout, and you'll receive a 100-pack of blades free with the purchase of the razor. So you go on the site, you add the razor that you're looking for, and then you add a 100-pack of razors, you'll get those for free. For most users, this amount of blades will last you 2 to 5 years, depending on how often you shave. So that promo code, again, is TheTaxiSquad at HensonShaving.com. Go check it out. We're playing basketball. We're talking basketball.
Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way you do it
dribble up and down the court.
All right, go ahead.
And with hip hop and microphones like Dr. J and Moses Malone. All right, here we go. So first things first, a little check-in with the actual NBA right now. Boston Celtics went on an insane winning streak. They just had that correct. Boston Celtics are the best team in the NBA. Boston Celtics need to win this year or they're a joke. There is the 40-20 rule that I don't remember who made it up. It might have been Phil Jackson, but teams that win 40 games before they lose 20 are the teams that are competing for a championship. The only ones that made that different were the Pistons in 2003, were the Heat in 2006, and I think the Cavs in 2016. Outside of that, every other team is at least 40-20 at this time of the year. So, a couple of those teams can be that. You have the Oklahoma City Thunder, you have the Denver Nuggets, you have the aforementioned Boston Celtics, a couple other outside of that, Minnesota Timberwolves, Cleveland Cavaliers.
And then you have teams like the 90s Bulls that went 72-10.
Right, or the year that the Warriors lost. So,
right.
Regardless, we still got some time left in the season. It is coming down to the wire now, so once March Madness is over, we will really ramp up into basketball. But we did get a mention from our thick boy king himself, Zion Williamson, saying that he's going to do the dunk contest, and I said, cool. I would love
that I can buy into.
But he won't do it unless he's an all-star, which I kind of get too. Because why would you go to All-Star Weekend if you're not an all-star?
Well, he needs to play like an all-star then. Put your money where your mouth is, big boy.
He's had quite a year this year. You can make an argument he kind of deserved it. That's the thing too. It's like there is like the Stephen A. Smith, Zion Williamson's fat, all that shit. Zion Williamson has been a very productive player in the NBA. He's not like the best player in the NBA by any means, but he's very productive. And I see him getting in there in the next couple of years. But a dude with that size at his age right now, it's fine, but he's only probably got 4 or 5 years where he can do the dunk contest before he loses it, which is kind of like the concern, just given how big he is.
I mean, he's been in the league now for almost like 6-7 years now.
I would say he's probably like 22, if I'm not mistaken, so that would at least give him 5. Let's figure that out, because we have the beauty of checking.
The internets.
He's played 4 seasons. He's been active for 5, but he didn't play all of 2021 because he injured his foot. So he's been in for a bit. Probably deserved an all-star, but I kind of agree with him here. Like, why would you go do the dunk contest if you're not an all-star?
To bring some sort of relevance to the competition, considering the past 2 years have been dog shit.
Yeah, but I think he's more so like, I'm taking that time off if I get it. I'm not an all-star. Which is kind of goes back to the conversation we had before, where it's like all-stars should be in the dunk contest. Like it shouldn't be G League guys. In my opinion, it should either be all-stars, really good guys, the Jordans, the Kobes, running that shit back, or it should be the best dunkers on earth. Go find some of those wild-ass dudes on Instagram that are doing fucking backflips. Or like I saw a guy do an alley-oop behind his back, off the backboard. He caught it with one hand, threw it in the other, and then threw the dunk down. And I was like, that was fucking insane.
The influencer dunk contest, that could be sick.
It would be amazing, because at least those guys, all they do every day, all the time, is learn how to do crazy dunks. Which Mac McClung's very good at that, but he's focusing, honestly, too much on that if he's trying to play in the NBA.
Well, hey, chances are he makes so much money through whatever it might be, if that's promotions and ads and the rest of it, that he can live off that right now because he has the hype of doing that, and he's like a great white hype.
Prize money.
Right. So with that, I mean, he can live pretty comfortably off that, no matter if he's still in the G League. I mean, hey, G League is a halfway decent product for an underrated, the lower level of professional basketball.
Leagues, right.
Yeah. So I do believe it would be nice, though, to start seeing bigger names. I think it would be great to see the Ja Morants and the Jason Tatums perform at that level.
I don't know
that
if Tatum's got that dunk package, though.
He's got the height. He's got the athleticism.
Yeah. I've never seen it. Or get Curry in there. He had that one dunk time.
This is the one thing I truly dislike about the NBA as a whole. All these guys are just giant prima donnas.
Yeah.
And they create a lot of drama where there doesn't necessarily need to be it.
It is an issue. It's most certainly an issue.
It's like when LeBron James just talks about how, I don't like the hype. I don't like any of the spotlight.
What a fucking liar, man.
I'm going to just be in Space Jam, constantly beat my chest.
He has chosen one on his body, dude. It says chosen one on his body. He's like, I don't like all the attention. Like, you called yourself the chosen one, you fucking crazy ass. Like, did he live up to it? Yes, for sure. Like, that's like you can make an argument that you're like, this is the one guy that had expectations and blew it out of the water, for sure. But also, like, you do like the attention. Like, obviously. there's no doubt about that. And I would too. And that's all the thing. But just stop playing like you're not.
It'd be like if we were like, we're not the biggest fans of podcasting. We just love to talk a lot.
I like to chat a lot. I don't want anybody to listen. It's like, no,
I love to talk
I want people to
sports,
listen.
It's just this whole podcasting thing for me just gets really difficult sometimes. And,
yeah. I'm going to sit out this week.
It needs to be about the game. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
It needs to be about the recording quality, not the actual product.
Needs to be about the recording quality and all that, right?
Oh.
Yeah, no. Because we were recording this shit with shitty mics, and now we got good mics. Now it's like we're sitting next to you.
Okay, granted, I've never recorded on a shitty mic, okay?
Yeah, Vince, whatever. You know,
I'm a mic guy.
I started this shit, and then Vince came in and brought the good stuff.
With our former, rest in peace, king, man, that has no name.
No king there.
Jester. LeBron James, speaking of the devil, 40,000 points for the man.
Well, sure, you've played for 20 years.
Well, you can't say that because he has the most points ever.
He's also played for 20 years
at
a very high level. Not saying he hasn't.
You're right. 40,000's cool. I like when you hit a new level. I know. Okay. Suspend that for a moment and just stick with me. 40,000 has never happened before. In the years of, the Bill Russells and the Will Chamberlains scoring 100. If
Kobe wanted to play another year, he could have.
Yeah, he would have scored 40,000. He was far away from 40,000.
Was he?
Yeah. The real guy that could have is Karl Malone, but he's a piece of shit.
Now, could LeBron say he can win an Academy Award? I didn't think so.
No. Well, maybe. He's going to do something on the barbershop and get it laid up, too. I'm sure. Kobe had 33,000.
So he was very close.
7,000 points is a lot, man.
If Kobe would have played an extra 3 years?
Let's see the average points in a year. So it's obviously Wilt is skewed real high. I mean, Jordan scored 3,000 in 86. The most Kobe ever did was 2,800 in 05-06 when he was in his prime. So
prime.
What you actually see when looking at this list, and it's mostly Wilts and Michaels. Rick Barry has a year in there. James Harden has a year in there. There's no LeBrons. So beacon of consistency, yes. Didn't often lead the league in points. But I do think it's gonna be cool to kind of see. We're seeing a bit of a changing of the guard, in my opinion, in the NBA. With you're gonna lose the LeBrons. Kevin Durant, is getting older. Steph Curry's getting older. You're gonna have those guys in the top 20, top 15, top 10s. By the end, Kevin Durant's already 9th. So it'll be cool to see it.
We also have to remember it is the era of no defense.
Yeah, for sure.
And they don't play defense. Again, they don't play defense. You can make that
argument with the 90s, man.
No, you can't, Vince, because the average
half
score of
the
NBA
on this
games
list
in the 90s were actually playing the fucking game the way it's rightfully
half
so.
The guys on this list are from the 1990s.
Right. So it goes to show you it was far more difficult to do it back then than it was today.
No, opposite. Because more guys are on this list from the 90s, and they've scored more points in less seasons.
Because the skill level was better. One could argue.
Then now, no shot. 0.
Bruh.
No, I think the effort level is higher.
He's dropping 60 a night.
I don't know, man.
Bullshit.
I don't know. There weren't long guys like this. And also, MJ's 3 wasn't that great. Big dudes, long arms.
Kobe's wasn't that great
they weren't
either.
Shooting threes then. Kobe got better, though. I'm just saying, they score more points now for sure. There's no doubt about it. I'm just saying, too, it's the early 2000s was honestly the low of how points, the amount of points people would score.
Well, let's look up the average. Look at the average points scored in 1997 compared to 2007, right? Well, let's see which one is more. And then let's look at 2014 and 2020 and so on and so forth.
Okay. Average points per game. This is going by teams. The Bulls in 1996-7 is 103.1.
Okay.
Let's look at 2007.
Well, if it's the Bulls
again. No, it's definitely not. Well, the Bulls are top 10. They had 98.8 in 07. But the most was the Suns with 110 with the Steve Nash teams.
Okay.
And then if we go let's go 2023. Now you're getting to the 120s for Sacramento. So they do score more, which isn't necessarily. It's more people are scoring on the team. I think.
can't defy the laws of math, Vince. If there's more scoring in the games, then chances are he's going to get to that number a little bit quicker.
More guys are scoring though. More guys are scoring now though.
Okay, yeah, because there's no
like
defense.
What was Luke Longley averaging in 1996?
Yeah, probably like 5 points a game if he was lucky. But he was a class eater. That was his job.
Exactly. It was more. Now it's more so like a spread game where guys do multiple things for. Like Luke Longley was like, get the rebounds and pass it down so we can get the fast break going. That's essentially what they were doing.
Triangle.
Won't work anymore.
Triangle offense. I bet you it would.
They tried. Do you remember when Phil Jackson was like the king of New York for a little bit and it failed miserably?
No, Phil Jackson was just a dated voice, but I bet you if somebody revamped it and put their little spin on it, similar to like the West Coast offense and what that has become to the footballs.
That's what Steve Kerr kind of did. He's not running a triangle. He's more running like the grit and grind meets pace and space. But like, I don't know. You change the game as you go. Like too many people did the triangle. They found out how to defend it. That's kind of how it works. But
sure,
I don't know, man. All I know is that Steve Kerr's back with the Warriors for another 3 years, so good for him.
Yeah, that is,
Why would you ever get rid of him?
For him?
Why would you ever get rid of him?
No. Man's amazing. Well, let's talk about what we do best, Vince. So, unless you lived under a hole, you would know that last week was the NFL
under a hole.
Scouting under in a hole under
in probably
down
under a hole. I'm trying to think of how to be under a hole. You dig a hole and then you dig another hole under it.
Or if you live on, or if you live under a rock.
Yes, there you go.
There we go.
That works.
Last week was the NFL Scouting Combine.
Yes.
And some of the biggest stories of the Combine, of course, is our beloved Chicago Bears and the narrative that Caleb Williams will be going to the Chicago Bears as the number 1 pick in April's draft.
Inevitable.
There's a lot of inevitable. They're saying. We'll see. But that he went to the Combine. There's a lot of issues with people right now saying it was an ego move. There's a lot of people saying that maybe he shouldn't even showed up at all if he didn't plan on participating. But he still did interviews in Indy, and he met the press, and then he also met with the Commanders and the Bears, and I believe he did also meet with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Or whoever requested to meet with him, essentially.
That's why he was there.
Of course.
Literally. Like, I get what everybody's saying, but also, like, what's the point of doing that when you know you're going first? There's no arguments. No one's going to take anybody else first. Like, what's the point of...
I think he just wanted to show the people that he's a human.
Right.
And he's a well-spoken young man, which he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's clearly smart. He can clearly present himself well. And then not only that, he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
Kid.
I became real smitten on the guy this last week.
Yeah, I did.
I was watching and I was like, oh, he's kind of cool. What the
fuck? when they said, like, who do you mold your game after? And his 2 answers was Aaron Rodgers. And then the second was Tom Brady. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm in. But then they were like, who's your favorite player ever? He's like, Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, listen, I don't like Aaron Rodgers a lot.
Tom. Well, he said if you could mold your game against... Did he? I said Tom.
He did. He said Aaron Rodgers is his favorite player and the guy he molds his game around, but he's like, I also love Tom Brady because Tom Brady like wins. Is essentially what he said, which he's right. I'm also like, listen, I don't like Aaron Rodgers because he played against the Bears. If Aaron Rodgers was on the Bears, I would have loved Aaron Rodgers. So if we have a guy that's trying to be like Aaron Rodgers, I welcome it with open arms. Like, I'm in on that shit for sure. So I heard that and I was like, fuck Aaron Rodgers. But then I'm like, he was like, people make the argument that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback ever. Not the best winner, but people make the argument that he's the best, like, intangible, reading offense, blah, blah, whatever. Like, athletic, all that stuff. People make that argument often.
I don't necessarily believe that.
Brady's not an athlete, man. Brady's like a
not saying man. I'm not comparing the two. They're two very different people. But the greatest athlete at the quarterback position and thrower of the football, one could argue, is Mike Vick.
Pat.
Who?
Might be Pat.
When it's all said and done, yes. I'm just talking if
Yeah, for sure. Human highlight reel, man. He's the Dominique Wilkins of football.
I mean, Mike Vick was it, and if Mike Vick didn't get imprisoned for what he did to animals, then who knows where that could have gone for him.
Hey, Jason Kelce's first quarterback, Michael Vick. Learned that today.
Interesting. That's a fun fact for us.
More you know.
God bless Jason Kelce for his retirement. Good for him.
Yes. Let's talk about that for just 1 second because we just brought it up anyway. What an impassioned speech. First off, did you watch any of it?
Oh God, it made like grown man tears.
Dude, Travis was crying. He was crying.
When he started talking about his wife.
You heard that origin story of how they met and shit, right?
Yeah, and he was like drunk and stuff. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. And he like went over like obviously the quarterbacks he played for and said Nick Foles' dick was huge, which is only time we'll ever see anybody talk about somebody else's penis in their retirement speech, I think, ever. But
did he literally bring up Nick Foles'?
He did. He said he had the biggest dick in the whole club or the whole locker room in the speech. It was awesome. But I do think it was cool. So the equipment trainer that they used to have that would like tape up their ankles and stuff like that, he got cancer like 2 years ago, and he stopped doing that. And Jason Kelce, like he's in remission now, which is good. But Jason Kelce was like, "Hey, I'm gonna retire today. Can you tape my ankles?" So he like went out there, got his ankle taped by the guy. He started getting a little roasted on the internet by some people for wearing a tank top and shit for his retirement. And
whatever.
You saw Philadelphia just go after guys.
Destroy
them.
Yeah.
Fuck you. He can wear whatever he wants. And also
that's
like
their guy, man.
Jason Kelce. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is the most famous center ever.
Yeah,
for sure. Like the only one I can name is Olin Kreutz because we know Olin Kreutz well, but that's not a
not
thing.
many people know Olin Kreutz overall.
Right.
Yeah, you're maybe Jeff Saturday,
but
that's really it.
Kelsey's got him beat though.
Yeah, for total games played and the rest of it.
Well, and just popularity. I mean, more so than anything. Everybody knows who fucking
that was
Jason
a different.
Kelce is.
It was a different era back then.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't the internet, and everybody didn't have a platform and
yeah,
all that. But
interim
when
head
you
coach Jeff Saturday.
Right. It's true. When you look at it, though, I mean, he will probably go down as a Hall of Famer, as a center.
Easy. Yeah. What a family.
Hey, good for him.
2 Hall of Famers in the family. That's crazy.
Potentially, yeah, that's great. I'm just happy Taylor didn't show up and steal the sunlight,
No, they were in Australia, man.
Let's go back to Caleb. So,
okay. Ready.
He didn't throw, and a lot of hub with this. He didn't really run a 40. Didn't do any of the combine activities. Said he's just going to wait till his pro day, and I don't even think he'll run it at his pro day. He'll just throw. He'll be like, "Yeah, I'm fast." But I mean, most of the players today who are at this caliber, like Marvin Harrison Jr., Caleb Williams, like they don't need. They've proven themselves, and a lot of people are like old school guys. Yeah, old school guys are like, "That's stupid." I mean, if anything, you're going to hurt
from
yourself.
USC in 2001. Now you can go on YouTube and watch every single game in order if you want to, and probably some of their practices. Like, what are we doing?
You can watch Good, Bad, and Ugly, but a lot of people had issues with him saying, "I'm only going to submit medicals to the teams that I know I'm potentially going to."
Which is smart.
And only one team can draft. It is smart. Like, say what you will. It's a business decision now, and I believe truly he is in the right. Now, granted, he could also be wearing a orange C on his helmet in a matter of 2 months. So that's exciting. And we talked about this last year on the pod after and shortly before the draft. If the Bears get the opportunity to go 1-1 and what the odds of that were going to be, and it happened, it's insane.
Yeah.
And we also said that if Justin has a down year, which he did. You can take the best quarterback prospect in the past decade.
We literally talked about this. Literally.
If you've been with us this long, we discussed this scenario and we may have manifested it into real life. Yeah. Just like how one day you will be seeing the screens on television. Right. So with all of that, or faces on television, should I say?
Yeah. You'll see my computer on television. It's going to be set up somewhere else.
Either way, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
With the wrong emphasis on the right syllable there.
Right.
But I do believe he's number 1 overall pick. Bears are taking him, seemingly there.
What a take.
Now,
he's going to be number 1, you think?
But the rest of the classes, though.
Yeah.
Okay, Drake May doesn't throw. Jaden Daniels doesn't throw.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks who threw, did they help themselves? Michael
Joe
Penix
did.
J.J. McCarthy threw. Joe Milton out
Joe
there.
Milton helped himself a lot.
Dude.
If there's
an
one
80-yard bomb
Yeah.
on the dot.
If there's one thing a quarterback can do to raise their stock, it's that shit. It's the same shit that Zach Wilson did, too. Zach Wilson, absolute launcher. Everybody's like, he's a monster. Didn't end up working out. Don't think Joe Milton's an NFL talent. He's probably going to be a backup or maybe get a little bit of time sometime, somewhere. He can flick his wrist and throw the ball 80 yards. It's insane. But
it's impressive.
That raises a stock. And the combine's for not only the guys that are on the line, maybe not. It's more so for guys that you don't show your peak athleticism in a position. So a lot of linemen. And you see a lot of speed in there. And then you do see the fringe guys. Is he going to be a second rounder or is he going to be a fifth rounder? And if he can run a 4.5, then I'm taking him in the second round. That's where that is. I don't need to see Caleb Williams throw the ball. I don't need to see Jaden Daniels throw the ball. We saw him throw it all year. We saw him against real defenses. I don't know what him throwing the ball is going to change.
But you know what I wanted to see, Vince?
What?
Xavier Worthy run a 40. Holy shit.
Ooh. Boy, there was a couple.
4-2-1.
Yeah.
Broke a record.
Yeah. Word to the wise, and the wise is probably going to be the Las Vegas Raiders, given how this usually works out. A good 40 time doesn't mean that they're going to be a great football player.
Yeah, that's true.
But it does mean that they can drive fast in Vegas. And it also means that...
Hey, Henry Ruggs was actually pretty good.
He was
before
good.
he... Yeah.
Murdered person. Yeah. John Ross, though.
Not it.
And you can make the Tyreek Hill argument, too, because it's not every single route is just run as fast as you can straight.
No,
it's the cuts. It's how you get off the line. It's all that stuff. So grain of salt for everything. See what
Back to the quarterbacks.
Yeah, we'll be good.
So everybody's so hyped about J.J. McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched his throws.
Oh, so inaccurate. Brutal.
But everybody's like, he had a great combine. I'm like,
I don't know. I think his stock went down, to be honest.
I've heard, who's the guy who ran out of the back of the end zone on ESPN?
Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky was like, J.J. McCarthy maybe had one of the best combine performances. I'm like, I watched him throw. It looked like shit.
Listen, Dan could be right a lot, but I don't think he's right about that.
Now, I will say this. If there's anybody who helped themselves greatly, it was Michael Penix. Holy shit, that boy can throw a football. And
He's
then
gotta go to Miami, man.
I could see it. It could be real that he gets drafted by Miami in the later half of the first round.
Just go lefts, man. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think it was Edelman that talked about it too, because they had Tebow as a backup, and he was like, I won't catch balls from Tebow because he's like, I play in a right-handed offense. So yeah. You're going to change your whole offense around for a lefty, man. So you really got to know.
You do have to know, I do believe, though, that he may be one of the best left-handed prospects coming out in the past 10 years next to Tua.
Yep.
He looked to be the real deal, and he's very athletic. Now, you know what surprised the shit out of me?
Who? What?
Keaton Slovis, former USC starting quarterback, ran a 4.5 40.
Where was he? Ole Miss last year?
BYU.
That's what it was. Okay.
Arizona boy.
4.5
played at USC. Jumped around the past couple of years. Had a year at Pitt, and then had a year at BYU.
That's what it was. He went everywhere. He was fucking traveling soldier.
Yeah, well, hey, you got the mobility thing became one with NCAA.
Yep.
Now, I will say this. If you didn't know this before, Roma Denze might just be the best prospect in this draft next to Marvin Harrison from a position standpoint next to a real, he just blew it out of the water.
He might be available at 9. I don't know if we're going to take receiver there, but he might be available at 9.
Either that or Chop Robinson and some of these these defensive guys just
Joe Alt, baby. Give me some Joe Alt.
But truly, like these defensive ends, these hybrid linebackers are true athletic freaks. Chop Robinson ran a 4.48 40.
Yep.
And then the dude out of Alabama ran a 4.5. Like it's just edge rushers just looking like running backs.
Deep too. I feel like you can get an edge rusher with pretty good value this year. Breaking news. Mitch Trubisky is an employed man again.
To who?
Buffalo, welcome back. Woohoo.
Hey, there you go, Money Mitch.
Congrats.
They must like him. They just must like him.
Yeah. They might just be like, that's a nice guy, which he is, but not a great
He seemingly is, not the greatest quarterback. But with all that being said, I mean, Vince, who, in your eyes, who's your guy, right, that you look at it and like, who gave themselves value after this? Doesn't necessarily have to be a quarterback after the combine, but who gave themselves the most value? Who solidified themselves as a guy, and maybe who fell off the handle?
I think some of these things are pointless. I think the bench is kind of pointless because you have a guy like Blake Corum with really short arms, very strong, yes, but he's beasting over a guy like Joe Alt who's really long, and it's harder to bench more if you're a long-ass arm guy. Like, some of that shit does not matter, man. It's just at the end of the day, it's just true. I think the guy that dropped, and again, like you'll get the Orlovskis and stuff like that, but J.J. McCarthy's issue has kind of always been inconsistencies and accuracy.
He's a game manager.
Yeah, and then he goes in there and does exactly what he's been doing. But people aren't like hyping him up because he's the winner of the national championship. Okay, so that's why I think his stock went down, because I think it went unbelievably high for no fucking reason before. Because before he was probably slotted as like a second rounder, and then he wins the national championship with Jim Harbaugh, and they're like, top 10. Like, all right, fucking settle down. And now he's probably mid to late first round. Maybe probably second round. Like, I don't see... I wouldn't draft him at all, personally, but like, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
It's going to be like one team that buys in. There's going to be one team that really is like, oh, he's a guy.
Yeah. Well, and then you're going to see that team deal with that for literally fucking years. So, it is what it is. I do like a 3-cone drill. I do... What's our boy's name? Cooper DeJean. All he's got is dog. All he is a dog. A dog again this week. I want him to be so good, and I think he's going to be. If he's playing cornerback or if he's playing safety or whatever he's playing, but I hope he's a cornerback and I hope he's good, and I think he's going to move up the draft boards a little bit.
I believe he gets converted to a wide receiver because of his hands and his athleticism. Yeah, his hands are insane.
Yeah, he was the only reason Iowa scored last year.
I mean, really, he crushed.
Yeah.
I just don't, I mean, truly, I don't get it, man. The athleticism of these kids anymore today is truly
crazy.
Off the charts. But once again, the training and all of it that goes with it is that. Now, I will say a guy that maybe, just maybe, shot himself up the draft boards.
Here's a guy.
And man. But Ladd McConkey.
McConkey. What a name.
Dude,
all-time name.
That boy's got glue hands, ran a very good 40.
Yep.
And looked great in basically every drill. I mean, he could be a guy that if I'm the Bears, maybe if you push wide receiver to the second or third round or whatever that looks like, that might be a play.
6-footer, slot receiver kind of guy, Hunter Renfrow type. I'm into it.
But he's far faster than Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, way faster, yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy, even though he may go to the Patriots because the Patriots do that.
Yeah.
Now, you know who might have been the biggest loser of the combine, Vince?
Who?
It's not even a guy who was there.
Okay.
It's quarterback of the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Because
I like
now there are a lot of talks saying that after the combine, the Bears showed their hand as to what their intent is for this draft.
Yep.
and they are most definitely taking Caleb Williams. That's the thought. That's the 80-20 now, so to speak. Novel thought,
right? He might be the winner then, man. He might be the winner.
But now they're saying the Bears, though, may not only get shafted in a deal, but next to nothing than a 4th or 5th round pick. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think he's talented. I think they're going to take the best offer, and I don't think they're going to keep him on the team this year. So I thought the talk about getting a 1 for him was so outlandish and insane that it was never going to actually happen. I could see us getting a 2nd or 3rd round for him. Depends on where he's going to go. Like I have a true belief that he's going one of 2 places. He's either going to Atlanta or he's going to Pittsburgh. I don't know if Pittsburgh's going to want to have another quarterback that they have to like hope for the best with. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. But yeah, I mean, I truly don't think that this trade for him, like I think we're too gung-ho on getting badass, like sick fucking deals with teams because of the insane draft capital we had. Trading a guy that's been in the league for what, 4 years now? And he's shown signs but hasn't been that good. Like, you're not getting insane like deal for him. We'll probably get a decent one because he's so athletic. But like I think we might get a 2nd or 3rd rounder.
Well, now a lot of people are saying you might get a 4th or a 5th, depending on how that all plays out.
Depends on how many teams want him.
I do believe it's really going to depend on the free agent QB market because now
Great segue.
Kirk Cousins is totally looking to be a free agent. Everybody is saying he's going to try free agency and go through that process.
He's the first shoe. That drops.
Everyone says he is a process guy. And also, allegedly, there are reports that the Falcons are very interested in him.
Okay.
Which he would fit in that offense great. I mean, Bijan Robinson, you have Drake London, you have a lot of weapons around you that aren't necessarily proven.
He looks like Matt Ryan with a jersey on.
He would look like the next phase of Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Now, if he does go back to the Vikings, I believe that's going to be basically what this process is going to be looking like. Unless somebody falls in love with him. And so like, no, we want this guy, and we're going to go get that guy.
Well, I mean, we're going to get to this because I have a whole take. But Russell Wilson is a free agent right now, too. And I want to come back to that. But someone's going to take a chance on him, for sure. I mean, you're signing him for very little money because the Broncos still owe him a lot. Like, someone's going to take a chance on him. I think Seattle's probably going to move on from Geno Smith. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back there, to be honest. But there's teams, man, like the Steelers, the Commanders, depending on what they do. If the Patriots take quarterback, you got to assume that they're going to. But, you know, there's always a chance where they're like, hey, new coach, kind of a new regime. Like, let's get a guy in here that's talented and done it before. Like, there's a couple guys on there that you can sign right now. And outside of that, it's all rookies. So Kirk Cousins leaves. You essentially have Russell Wilson, you have Zach Wilson, or Justin Fields. You pick your pick. I'm taking Justin Fields every time. So, like, I don't know.
Don't forget Baker. Don't forget Baker.
Yeah. He's going back. I'm sure of it. It's
kind of an inevitability. He looked really good last year.
And then the Browns have to sign somebody because you know Deshaun's going to be out for the entire season. So,
yeah,
he's not injured or anything. You just know he's not going to fucking play.
You guys pay me a bunch of guaranteed money. Oh, I don't necessarily have to play. Oh, my calf.
Sorry, there's a rub and tug place down the street that I gotta go to. So.
Oh, sorry, I gotta go bust some. Never mind.
Hey yo,
hey yo. But with all that, I do agree that Russell Wilson will be signed somewhere.
Yeah,
New England could be an option.
What a nuanced take. Russell Wilson's gonna be on a team. All right.
Whether he's a backup or a starter.
Yeah. Do you think he's ever going to be a backup? Do you think he ever wants to be one?
Oh, God, no. His ego's too large.
Sierra being married to a backup quarterback? I couldn't.
Yeah. Those aren't the goodies. Those aren't the goodies. He could wind up in a Vikings uniform. That would be nuts.
That would be nuts. That's the thing. I still haven't completely given up on him.
I do believe that Kirk Cousins, though, ultimately goes back to his guy.
I do, too.
I just don't feel like there's as much parity as the NFL media wants to create. I feel like it's so. I think a decision's made on Justin Fields by next week. That's my opinion. I think next week at this time, you'll be listening to Taxi Squad podcast, and Justin Fields will be on a different team.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of saying, like, it's going to happen sooner rather than later. Next week is obviously quick, and I would be fine with that happening, but within the next month for sure. Before
next week,
happens.
The free agency period opens.
Yeah.
It's after the 12th.
Once Kirk is done, he's probably going to move on and grab him. Well, first off, all right. Sean Payton's overrated. Very much so, in my mind.
I mean, that team was pretty good last year, considering how bad they sucked.
Yeah, but like, Sean Payton,
lost the first 4 games, and then went on like a hot streak. They won like 5 of 6 in a row.
Sean Payton is considered one of the best coaches in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about, okay, what has he done? He won once with Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm. He got a NFC Championship game stolen from him.
Yeah, but
he got a complete NFC Championship game stolen from him.
Sure. Yeah.
Where that team was clearly in the right. Drew Brees' last season, and then that horrible no call on a pass interference where
that's
the DB
not to say
just
they win the Super Bowl.
Tackled. But they go. You still have a record.
Have Mike McCarthy or Sean Payton?
Sean Payton.
Why?
Sean
McCarthy
Payton
has more winning seasons and the same amount of Super Bowls.
I get your point in your argument. Sean Payton's a Chicago guy.
Okay, so it doesn't matter though in this conversation.
There's the home army. There's the home army. Chicago guy can lead.
So you're admitting inherent bias right off the bat. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I do believe he's a better quarterback coach, and I also believe that he's a better quarterback whisperer. Mike McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott, and
is
could
he
only
though?
win one Super Bowl. What?
Is he a quarterback whisperer?
Yeah, Drew Brees, and turned him in from nothing to something.
Yeah, but Drew Brees was a little bit of something in San Diego.
Not really.
He was better on the Saints, yes. That offense worked out well, but is he a quarterback
a lot of people
whisperer?
say if Saban would have stayed with Miami, he was going there, and then it didn't work, or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that would have looked a lot different with Drew Brees in Miami. But that's all old news.
It feels like he's high and mighty, man. It just feels like he's really high and mighty for someone that won one time like 15 years ago.
Don't you want that in a head coach? Don't you want a guy who commands the room?
Sorta, but he also talks a lot of shit for no reason.
Well,
and he has that I've been there, done that, I've done all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, but you did have done about as much as Mike McCarthy, so we have to allow Mike McCarthy to have the same thing.
Him and Drew Brees went to 3 NFC Championship games in a row.
Yeah,
and how many they won a Super Bowl. I get it, but I'm just saying they were in the biggest dance next to the biggest dance. If that makes sense.
I mean,
they were in the biggest dance in the division many times. Yeah, they might have lost, and they may have got one stolen.
Is he better than Tomlin?
No.
Is he better than Coughlin?
Maybe.
Coughlin's got a whole other Super Bowl on top of him.
Coughlin took Blake Bortles to an AFC Championship game, so there you go.
I don't know.
At least he managed the team that got him there.
It just feels like kind of crazy to me. Is he better than John Harbaugh?
No, not a lot of people are better than John Harbaugh.
Yes,
but John, you could make the argument with John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh's only won one Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Bruce Arians didn't even win a Super Bowl.
He did.
Oh yeah, one with Tom. He won one.
Oldest coach QB combination ever. 45 and 70 or 45 and 69.
Well, I also believe it behooves you to have the quarterback whisperer of a head coach, guy who can pick them. Now, if Sean Payton chooses J.J. McCarthy over Michael Penix or Drake May, whatever, we'll see.
I think maybe this is going to be if he picks a guy and doesn't make a beast of a quarterback and they're not competitive, because you got to remember too, it's Sean Payton, you got Harbaugh, you got Antonio Pierce seeing what he can do, and then you got Andy Reid and the fucking Chiefs. Like, the road is tough, and you need a guy to be good.
Has to deal with the player themselves buying into the system and then training and all of it and having the mental makeup to make it at this level and deal with the pressure and all the shit that goes with it.
We've had some guys that had all those, and then you're like, you're playing for the Bears, you're fucked. Like, that's
it's the argument. the argument exactly. If Patrick Mahomes was on the Bears, would he be Patrick Mahomes? Not many people know.
Trubisky would be a 3-time Super Bowl winner.
Well, either that or, the whole thing that Mel Kiper dropped a bomb on one of the platforms that Paxton Lynch was going to be drafted by the Chiefs the year before.
Yep.
And that fell through, and the Broncos stepped in and did that, and we all saw how that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all very, I'd say, speculative. Because you could say Sean Payton's a douchebag, and maybe he is, but Russell wasn't his guy, and you knew he was going to try and push him out sooner rather than later anyway, so he could reset the cycle, get his guy in, and build the team in his vision.
I get it. I get it all. It's just like, I don't know. I see it, and he's doing all this stuff, and everybody's like, well, it is Sean Payton. I'm like, yeah, but you don't say that about Mike McCarthy, and he's the same guy.
Well, if anything, what he exposed is Russell Wilson is a flash in the pan system quarterback under Pete Carroll. That was his only success as a professional, and one could say that he had the right people in the room to make it happen for him, but they ran the ball a lot and played awesome defense. He didn't have any of that in Denver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. He's essentially Nick Sirianni, so no, I'm kidding. He's essentially he's essentially Doug Peterson, really.
Well, Doug Peterson's also
old quarterback guy. Used to play, he took a guy like Nick Foles that wasn't supposed to be anything. He's a quarterback whisperer. And then you're like, all right. So we'll see. I mean, I just don't know if Sean Payton's as good as everybody talks to him about. That's kind of where I land on it. Like, I think people
it's 1 year.
People overvalue him.
If in 3 years, Vince, let's redo the conversation. And if he's done nothing in those 3 years with this team, you're right.
Let's bring it back.
Where Vince is right, where Mike was wrong, potentially.
Let's bring it back. Rich Eisen reports the Giants are having buyer's remorse for Daniel Jones. Duh.
Who wouldn't?
Right.
We questioned that last year in the offseason.
When they signed him, we were like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing right now?
What are you doing? I wouldn't give that guy a bag of donuts.
Yeah, I don't even know if we have to talk about it. It's kind of just like, go get another guy. It's not going to work out.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley, by the way, also given the ability to become a free agent. Does he go to the Bears?
Possibly. We need a running back. Not against it. NFL experimenting in getting rid of the chain gang. Did you see this?
No.
I don't like it.
I've heard that they are also experimenting with the kickoff.
Yeah, which I think it's a good idea. You got guys that can kick the ball too far. At this point, it's like they messing around with it. The chain gang, though, I'm like, listen, I get that you have all of these technological things that you can do to make the game more exact. Something about two old guys just knock down, see where the ball is. I love that. It's the most gridiron, like gritty, we got to do this shit thing. And I don't know. I hope they don't get rid of it. Maybe if you challenge it, you can see the exact line or something like that. But I think it's a means to an end. They're probably going to get rid of it eventually. But I like to see the guys with the chains.
Yeah, Vince just like seeing those guys with the chains, these old white dudes just getting fucking smacked up. Yeah. Like last year when that one guy got rolled up on and
didn't his leg break?
Yeah, we saw it. He was like, oh, fuck.
Think about how cool that is, though, for that guy. That guy's having a blast.
That's not cool for that guy.
Not the broken leg, bro. I'm talking about being on the sideline for a football game.
Is it cool, though, considering he maybe had a catastrophic life injury at the age of 50?
That's fine. NFL pays to fix his leg.
Chances are that's the reason they're looking at changing it, Vince, because they probably paid out a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're like, this 50-year-old guy just got rolled up on and his knee is busting out of his skin. Awesome.
With everything going technological and more exact.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to have the classic.
I mean, you got the thing, you got the yellow markers on the field anyways, so it's like, yeah, 2nd and 10, whatever. I mean, it's all going to a more digital world, to your point. Yep. So with that, I do agree, though, they should definitely look at the kickoff rules.
Yeah.
More kickoffs, take on the XFL thought process. I think it would make the game far more exciting.
Yeah.
And they want to reduce concussions.
Probably should, but don't ruin the game while doing that has always been my argument.
I still think guys get concussion. But then the argument of all right, if you talk to any NFL player, I'm sure they would agree. I would much rather get a concussion than a catastrophic knee injury
Leg
like
injury.
an ACL, MCL.
Yeah.
Because that's what the game is created now. Guys
People just
tearing
go for
their
the legs.
Achilles, shit like that.
You got Gronks. You got Gronks out there just getting flying 25, 30 mile per hour dudes coming right at your knees. Like, come on now.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, I would take most grown men today would take one hit from an NFL player and be like, I'm done. I'm retired.
Yep.
So free agency period is going to be a lot of fun. In other news, Jordan Poirier what's his name?
Jordan Poirier is the UFC fighter, which is cool that you said
Jordan
that.
Poirier.
Yeah.
And Tre'Davious White got released from the Buffalo Bills today.
Yep.
Potential Bears
targets. More weight on his shoulders. Bears have a lot of room for salary cap. I would like to see them make some moves here and see how it goes. You got a couple more years before you got to pay Caleb Williams. We're already thinking about that.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah.
And just like every week, people, this happens.
Yeah.
So we thank you, as always, for joining us. I mean, this is always some of the most fun we have in a given week.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, you got the email, right? So last week, we started a new concept here on the podcast to potentially email us your thoughts.
Yeah.
Email is taxisquadpod7@gmail.com. So feel free to reach out to us. Give us your ideas. We'd love to hear from you as a fan.
Or if we say something stupid that you're like,
you guys are fucking assholes.
You guys are dumb as hell. Tell us why we're dumb as hell so we can tell you that you're dumb as hell. That's what I'm trying to do.
We're interested in your feedback. So please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Also, we're on every single platform you could be on, right? So if you're on the Spotify, you're an Apple Music guy, there's a puppy radio supposedly that we're a part of. I don't know. It's wherever the RSS feed puts us.
Puppy radio, pardon.
And then always, you can see these beautiful foxes on the YouTube every Thursday. We've got some new content ideas coming your way. We got some new things happening. And as always, you know the drill, people. Share it with your siblings, right? Because they might like this shit too. You're related, right? Right? And then as always, hit that subscribe button. And of course, we'll see you next Thursday. Peace.